Welcome to the Pylon to Pylon podcast, where we love football and hate your opinion. We are proud partners of the Pulse Podcast Network and Statement Games, where you make the statements on the games and discover the future of fantasy football at statementgames.com. I'm your host this week on your NFL podcast, Austin Frizzoco, joined always by Richie Bradshaw, Donnie Druin,
hello,
and Skyler Burkhart.
Hello, hello.
All right, guys, so let's get into this. This is going to be our Super Bowl edition of the podcast. Guys, can you believe it's already the Super Bowl?
So the Super Bowl is a weird time for me, just because we look forward to it every year at the beginning of the season. But at the same time, it means the last meaningful game of football that'll be played for another 8 months. So
I'm
tear shed.
Seriously, I cry.
And
Cry every time.
Retweet if you cry every time.
In the shower, crying.
So let's get right into it. We have the Rams versus the Patriots, obviously. No, it's not going to be a replayed game.
I thought it was the Saints versus the Patriots.
Go Ravens.
No. Go Packers. Stop it. Shush. Anyways.
Let's go Rattlers.
Sun Devils?
Hot Shots?
Coyotes.
Hot Shots.
Suns?
Hot Shots.
Who the hell's a Hot Shot?
The new AFL team.
Go Hot Shots.
Okay, Hot Shots it is. Cool. All right, guys.
Dilly.
So let's start by breaking down each team. We're going to start with the Rams at first, going position group by position group. Obviously, at quarterback, we're going to have Jared Goff.
Austin's boy.
No, not at all. I will say he's made a couple of good throws the past couple of games.
Ooh.
Hey, I give credit his due.
All right, when he wins the Super Bowl and gets MVP, then what happens?
I already told you.
He has to get a tattoo.
No, I already told you guys. I would say that I respect his game and he is a solid quarterback.
I mean, that would be the same number of MVPs and Super Bowls as Aaron Rodgers.
All right, I'm leaving.
And Joe Flacco.
Your boy.
That is my boy. That is true.
Yeah, it's more than Ben.
Not as many rings, but
Wow.
What if he plays great, but the Rams lose? Would you still own up to it?
completes 80% of his passes, 4 touchdowns, but they lose by 20. No, like just giving him a scenario. That's not going to happen.
Give him a realistic scenario.
Give me a realistic
250, 2 touchdowns.
For Jared Goff, he'll throw like 65%.
300 yards.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick.
And is that
if he throws a pick, then...
Is that 1 pick to lose the game?
Nah, it's on the first play of the game.
First play of the game.
But it's a pick 6 of Devin McCourty.
And what's the final score of the game?
24
it's 7-3. 7-0.
Same through 2 touchdowns and 7-0.
It's a Devin McCourty pick, man. That's what sealed the game. Sorry, not sorry, Skyler.
Based off of pure stat lines, it's really hard to say because he could throw for those 2 touchdowns and all those yards with 5 minutes left in the game and make it look close, but it was never close in the beginning. So like I said, we can visit this next Tuesday.
Okay.
And we can talk about Jared
We'll see you next Tuesday.
However, I know Skyler will not want to talk about it if he plays poorly or the Rams get blown out. So
I don't think it'll be a blowout, but if it is a blowout, it's going to be a rough
I would
week.
be more willing to talk if it was a blowout compared to losing on 1 play or losing by 3 or less.
Or on a penalty.
now, don't get me wrong though. I'm not going to give him credit if the Rams rush for 225 yards,
Like they have been doing?
Each.
Yeah.
and Jared Goff only has to make 1 or 2 throws to win the game. I'm not going to give him credit for that. Just so we're clear.
Okay. All right.
Then you would give him the title of game manager then, essentially, if that was the case.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. It's fine. Jared Goff.
I think that's what he is now anyways.
Okay.
He's throwing a little bit under 60% for completion percentage in the playoffs. Funny enough, both him and Brady combined only have 3 touchdown passes through the entire playoffs, which is really weird.
In 4 games, but it's still.
Well, yeah, look at the game against the Cowboys for the Rams. They ran for franchise record 260 yards rushing. The Patriots went up 45-7 against the Chargers at halftime.
Yep.
And then the games in the Superdome against the Saints for the Rams, Jared Goff played a pretty good defense there with the Saints. And then the Patriots again played against Patrick Mahomes. And I believe that's when Brady threw 2 touchdowns, was that not? Or
Yeah, and the latter part of the game, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, both games, his rushing offense has been phenomenal.
Sony.
Sony Michel's a freak.
Yep, but let's focus on Goff.
Anyways, yes, we got Jared Goff.
He made a really key play in the Saints-Rams game where it was that play action. He had Cam Jordan in his face, and he had like another Saints defender going at him, and he kind of had to like hoop the ball over to who's the tight end? Higbee? Yeah, for that 7-yard completion. You're looking at me weird.
He's just wide open.
Yeah, but he had 2 men draped over him.
He was just turning around after the play action, and Cam was already there, and he just chuck it. Yeah, the steamroll was coming. I mean, he did.
That was a good throw, man.
It was a good throw, but it's just I don't know. Everything.
Aaron Rodgers can't make that throw.
It was great awareness. Wow. It was definitely great awareness by Goff. He did it twice that game. He made 2 of those great throws.
So the thing with Goff is that you don't necessarily need him to go out and throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, as long as you have the run game going. And we'll get into that in a second. I think Jared Goff is a more than serviceable quarterback, especially under Sean McVay's system.
Anybody can play QB in that system.
You're not wrong.
Okay,
but like I said,
kidding.
Jared Goff is a serviceable quarterback in McVay's system. I don't see where the hate's coming from. He's not a bad quarterback. Granted, he's an
MVP candidate.
Let's calm down.
Top 10. He's a top 10 quarterback. Bottom line.
Well, let's see. Anybody in the top 10 can call their own audibles after the 15-second mark gets cut off. Jared Goff, I'm serious. Watch the Super Bowl.
I know you've brought this up time and time again.
Watch the Super Bowl. Watch any of the playoff games. Jared Goff freaked out when he didn't have his communicator in his helmet during the Saints game.
True.
He had no idea what to do.
That was whenever they went down 13-0, didn't they?
I don't remember when it happened.
The communication
All I remember is he was freaking out.
The whole thing wasn't working. Like, that's the only way they get plays to the quarterback.
That's the only way he can tell him who to throw to and who's going to be wide open and what audible to make before it gets cut off.
If that was Tom Brady in there, he would be doing the same thing.
If that was Tom Brady, he'd be just saying, "Hey, I got this."
No, if Tom Brady wasn't there, the Saints' communication systems wouldn't have worked.
But that's also true.
And those balls wouldn't have been inflated properly.
True.
It just drives me nuts that everybody sings the praise of him being this fantastic quarterback, which he has great footwork, he has great intangibles. He
makes great throws.
And he's good looking.
He makes a lot of
very good
stupid decisions. But I can't get over the fact that it is clear as day that Sean McVay schemes everything open for him.
Yep. But also on the same point, you do need a quarterback to go and make that throw.
And like I said, he has great footwork and great intangibles.
I'm pretty positive people in the 80s had this exact same conversation about Joe Montana with Bill Walsh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Let's go to the next position group. Let's go to running back with C.J. Anderson and Todd Gurley.
This is definitely an interesting position because flash back to probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. You're thinking this is the Todd Gurley show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And C.J. Anderson comes out of nowhere. And I still don't know what exactly happened to Gurley. I know he was injured. And I know he came back, but was he just not 100% whenever it came to the Cowboys game? Or was it like a mental thing?
They will not release that information. As far as we know, he's been healthy the last 2 weeks, and they're just basically playing the hot hand.
Here's what I'll say, though.
Which is smart.
Yeah,
in the Saints game, he did not play well.
Well, no, he only carried the ball 5 times.
But he didn't hit the hole, and he dropped a wide open pass and also dropped another pass, which resulted in a pick.
Granted, one of those touches did go for a touchdown, but we're talking about potential offensive player of the year. We're talking about a low-end MVP candidate. He's only touching the ball 5 times, and probably your biggest game in the season.
I know. You're arguably your best offensive player.
But on the same coin, when you have a guy like C.J. Anderson who's balling out right now.
And he's been there. He's been to the playoffs. He knows the pressure of it. That may be the biggest factor in this. Todd Gurley, the pressure may have gotten to him.
I just can't believe the story of C.J. Anderson for this season where he didn't even touch the ball when he was in a Raiders uniform and was cut. He's been on, I think
he was with Carolina.
Yeah, he was with the Panthers.
Yeah, this is his 3rd or 4th team now this season. I know Skyler absolutely hated the signing. He thought it was horrible. And, there's nothing wrong with that because it was like, why? There's better backs on the market at the time.
Boy, I eat my words.
That's a good thing, though.
That is definitely to eat your words on that, because if you were like, "Oh my God, C.J. Anderson, you were right," you'd be saying that you're not in the Super Bowl right now.
Yep.
So, I mean, Richie, what are your thoughts of the?
Let me go ahead and put you on the hot seat right here. Why is Jared Goff a product of Sean McVay, but Todd Gurley isn't after we've seen C.J. Anderson dominant week to week now, including playoff games.
We can make that argument.
I think C.J. Anderson has proved that Todd Gurley's expendable.
You could also look at that. You can make the same case for Todd Gurley. I mean, look what happened whenever Jeff Fisher was a head coach.
All right, stop. That's like
no. You're going too far back. It's too far.
Granted, his rookie season was great.
Yeah,
but his next season was awful. But I agree with you, Richie. You can easily make the same point. I think running backs in any system are expendable.
True. That's why Le'Veon Bell's not going to get paid.
Yeah, I think there's always a better, younger, not a better, but there's always a younger, more fresh option every year. That's why you see so much turnover with running back position.
Sean McVay had an interesting comment. He said that they fully expected Todd Gurley to be the old Todd Gurley, like himself, quote unquote. In the playoffs, at least, C.J. Anderson has outtouched him on a 2-to-1 ratio. Mm-hmm. Anderson has like 39 carries, and Todd Gurley has like about 20. Do we see Anderson like starting, or do they really believe in Todd Gurley to get that team going?
You let Todd Gurley start that, and you see how he handles the pressure, and then you fit in C.J. Anderson as you go.
You definitely can give Gurley more breaks.
Yep.
Throughout the season.
You have to keep him fresh. I mean, that may have been their game plan going into the playoffs to minimize how much they use Todd Gurley.
Do we rule it out that maybe every other drive is a different? Is Anderson Gurley?
It is. It's going to be different drives.
I think it will depend on what the Patriots are showing them. Because as much as we want to praise Bill Belichick for having this phenomenal, key to adjust, Sean McVay does a great job of adjusting as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of like Skyler alluded to, it's whoever has the hot hand. I do think you start Todd Gurley in this game, but with C.J. Anderson running like he is, how can you not feed him the ball 10 or 15 times?
I think you start both of them and just start two receivers. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is that goes on the stat sheet as a start.
Yeah.
So I don't see a reason why you wouldn't start those two and start Josh Reynolds instead. End of the day, Reynolds is still going to get his snaps. Yeah. But on that sheet, you should have Gurley and Anderson get a start.
Wide receiver position group.
I feel like this is probably the weakest spot for the Rams throughout their entire second weakest.
Buddy, that's not a bad thing because it's still a strength for the Rams.
And you have to have a weak spot.
True.
On offense, I would have to put our tight end. So that would be our weekest.
So Rams receiving core is going to be Brandon Cooks,
Robert Woods, Josh Reynolds.
Yeah.
If they have Cooper Kupp, that's 3,000-yard receivers.
Pretty much.
I forgot about Robert Woods, and don't ask me how I forgot about a great receiver like that.
It's fine. If you also want to lump the tight ends in this, because we're talking about pass catchers, you have Higbee.
Hand in hand.
I always view receivers and tight ends as the same because nowadays most tight ends are receivers.
But no, let's talk about him. If we want to throw Jared Goff into he's a product of Sean McVay's argument, we can do the same with these receivers. Excluding Brandon Cooks.
Aaron Donald is a product of Sean McVay.
I don't know about that.
Probably.
Okay.
Prove me wrong.
Sean McVay came out and he said he has made the offense fit for he built around each one of his players, so each one fits in that offense perfectly. He's making the offense around each player. So, because there's going to be a different play set. You see Brandon Cooks in motion, you see Woods in motion. Every wide receiver has a place in that offense, and they are utilized to the fullest.
Well, he also uses the same personnel 99.7% of the time.
It's insane. It's the same personnel, it's the same lineup, and you don't know what's coming. It's going to come out there, and you don't know if they're running it, they're passing it, they're sweeping it, you know nothing.
Yeah. I just think Robert Woods is going to be, I think, the best receiver in this game on both sides.
He has to be.
I don't know if Brandon Cooks makes it up because of what happened last year. You never know.
Has he woken up?
Well, he better. He's facing his former team now. He's going to be really confused when he wakes up in a different uniform. And his teammates are trying to hit him.
Eagles at?
Where's Malcolm Jenkins? I need to talk to them.
But, no, I think Robert Woods is going to definitely be the difference maker in this receivers group for them.
See, and I think Reynolds is going to be the biggest X factor. He's 6'3", 6'4". He's a jump ball guy. The Rams kind of found out by accident because of Cooper Kupp's injury just how talented Reynolds is.
Skyler hates Rams. Skyler
I
hates
saw him training.
You know what? He hates you too because you're a dick.
He's dropped a lot of crucial first downs for us. Granted, in the Saints, I said he was going to be the X factor, and he turned out to be because he caught a lot of big first downs for us.
Give him the reps to be better. He is an extremely talented receiver.
It's the mental is what I'm worried about.
Just get him there. Get him the reps. Go ahead and trade Brandon Cooks. He'll have a 1,000-yard year with whoever he's with next year anyways.
And you can get a first-round pick for him.
I don't think you get a first round right now.
I think everyone gets a first-round
pick.
pick for him. So trade him to Baltimore. We'll probably give you the 22nd overall. We don't need a first or second-round pick.
Who'd you
Who
give
cares?
second to?
We gave it to Philly to move up for Lamar.
Oh, okay.
So we gave up our second in 2018, a second this year, and then we got like a fifth back from them last year.
But you moved up like 25 spots.
Yeah. And you got your franchise quarterback. Can everyone knock, please? Thank you. Donnie, that wasn't wood. I think you did that on purpose.
I like Lamar. You know that.
So then knock on wood.
Fine.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the offensive line.
Hold on. I do want to say something. I do want to say something about Sean
Fuck me, it's
McVay.
fine.
I just want to say about Sean McVay. You know, we keep on saying here about how we could make the argument for them being a product with Sean McVay. Look at how desperate the NFL is to find the next Sean McVay with these recent coaching hirings. We had, I think, at least half of the positions filled with a McVay coaching tie. You had LaFleur. You have Zach Stacy, who is unconfirmed to be the next head coach for the, not the Dolphins, who's the other, the Bengals. There's another offensive guy who was hired on. I can't remember where, but I know that they had ties to the quote-unquote McVay system.
He's already building a coaching tree.
Let's just make this as a position group. The coaching staff, that's a position group essentially. I mean, how well is this Rams team coached for the Super Bowl?
Okay, yeah, I like
phenomenally coached, man.
Sean McVay and Wade Phillips is about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
The youngest coach and the oldest coach.
That was the best decision McVay could have ever made as a head coach, getting Wade Phillips, who is arguably the best defensive coordinator in football.
No doubt.
Yep.
Easily of the last 10, 20 years.
Yeah, so but you also have, it's tough to say who's going to have the upper edge in that matchup, though, because you have the hoodie.
Belichick versus Wade on defense is going to be insane.
Flores versus Wade, because Flores calls the plays.
Belichick has the most input in that, I think. As much
Flores
as
calls the plays.
the defensive coordinator is more just, I think of more just like a little play spot for what Belichick does because he's just so smart in what he does.
Well,
Flores calls the plays.
Yeah, well, Belichick's more of a defensive guy, so.
Yeah.
He is historically, which is funny because when he was going to Super Bowls, I'm sitting there like, your defenses suck. You're supposed to be a defensive mastermind. You're not good at your job.
Say it to his face, Reggie. Say it to his face.
He is a 7-time Super Bowl champ. So
You know what he'd say?
about to be 8.
Yeah, oh.
Whoa, all right.
2 is a defensive coordinator. About to get a 6 with the Patriots. That's 2 hands, Donnie.
2?
Yeah, 2 hands.
Great. Good
6.
Good for them.
Let's move on to the Rams defensive groups. We have their defensive line, which makes up of Ndamukong Suh, Aaron Donald, Michael Brockers, Dante Fowler. Really a very big offseason acquisition in Ndamukong Suh that I think we can all agree was... Thank you, Richie.
As of late, it's paying off, though.
He was good in the Saints game, but that's only because the Saints talk massive trash about him.
Look, at the end of the day, Ndamukong Suh can come play for me because of the impact and the distraction that he brings, but you're paying him to get sacks, and he's not getting sacks.
He had, 2 sacks all season?
He's also a good run
3.5.
He's a good run blocker, but as
He's a run blocker? Wow, we should put him at tight end.
Yeah.
Line him up with fullback.
Run
He's
stuff.
run stopper.
stop.
We know what you meant, bud. We're just
But,
harping at you.
what do you want to call it? He's played great in the playoffs, and that's essentially where we need him. Just kind of scoot on by the regular season, soon as playoffs, put the thinking cap on and get it going.
Well, yeah, we did say whenever Ndamukong signed with them, we were like, hey, this deal is not very friendly towards the team. This needs to be Super Bowl or bust. And now here we are, a couple of days away from the Super Bowl, and they're 60 minutes away.
Well, if anything, the Rams now have a negotiation tactic, though, because he put up 3.5 sacks next to Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
For going into the offseason. They could get him a lot cheaper.
4.5. I'm sorry, 4.5. My bad. My bad.
4.5 when Aaron Donald had 20.
He can go back to Tennessee and get
20
more money
and a half.
easy.
Money and a half.
Get your halves right.
God, I'm sorry. So, but I mean, you have the best defensive player in football, and Aaron Donald on that side of the ball.
Yeah.
monster.
So
No doubt.
I definitely think that's a solid plus for those Rams. Next, you move on to linebacker. Skylar, help me out here. Who are the Rams linebackers?
Who? They've switched it out all year. Fowler's one. Rameek Wilson. Corey Littleton.
Yeah.
Corey Littleton just...
Samson Ibukam is there.
Yeah, Ibukam. Littleton took a dump in the Saints game on a couple plays. I mean, he just looked lost. So our linebacking core is definitely the weakest part of our defense right now.
If it makes you feel better, I don't know if it's better with Alec Ogletree or not. Maybe from a statistics standpoint.
It is better, but not by much.
I'll give you that.
Our pass rushing is better, though, with that with Ogletree gone for the linebacking core.
Yes.
Going to the secondary, it's a good secondary with Talib there. Without Talib, it's a mess. And because Peters can't do what he likes to do and attack the ball without consequences.
Well, and you guys also have a solid number 3 corner in Nickel Roby Coleman.
Great slot corner.
Great hitter.
You have a number 4 corner in Sam Shields, who used to be a former All-Pro.
He can come in and start, too. If any injuries, he's shown it. Plays great. And then we have...
And safeties, you have Joyner and Johnson.
Johnson.
Yep, he played out of his mind this year.
John Johnson's awesome,
He
by
played
the way.
out of his mind.
He's going to demand a lot of money, and we're going to have to get rid of Joyner. Sorry. I love Joyner, but it
You
has
have
to
to get
go.
rid of both, man.
No, we'll keep Johnson. Dude's playing out of his mind.
Well, now that we've covered the Rams, let's talk quickly, brief overview of the Patriots since they've been here so much.
Tom Brady, we're done.
Yeah, really.
We have Tom Brady. We're not even going to really discuss that.
Goat. Yep.
Possibly. Well,
Not possibly.
Most accomplished.
Oh my gosh. We're not doing this today.
We can have this conversation another day. Anyways, Tom Brady, you have running backs. Now, this is surprisingly their strongest part outside of Brady on offense.
Yes, agree. Yep. James White is such a factor in the receiving game. He led their team in catches this year. He had 80-plus catches.
Remember Tony Romo saying, it's going to be a first down. Was it 7 plays for 7 first downs? James White had, again, that last game. It was insane.
He's incredible. And then we need to start talking about Sony Michel, who almost had 1,000 yards and missed a few games.
And didn't start for the first 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep, he's been a revelation for them. And he's dominated in the postseason, too.
Yeah, and I knew Michelle was going to be good, but I didn't think he was going to be that good first season.
Dude, how about this? They both had great first seasons, but who do you want right now, Michelle or Chubb?
Ooh, I'll go Chubb.
You know what? Based off the situation, are we talking same situations or just purely the player?
Purely the player.
Chubb.
I take Chubb.
I think I'm sticking with Michelle.
It's so tempting, for me to go back to...
But at the same time, I can't because I had a first-round grade on Nick Chubb. Just saying.
You did. I remember.
He was RB3.
Rex Burkhead's a really good change of pace back as well whenever they need him to be.
He was a starter.
He's your third running back, yeah.
Well, you got to also remember, Sony Michel does benefit off of the mismatches that White and Burkhead can bring, which really can screw up a defense. Going into the next position group, we have wide receivers.
Well, you got the Hall of Famer Julian Edelman there, so that's a good start.
Stop.
You have Julian Edelman, you have Chris Hogan, Philip Dorsett, who's had his best season.
Surprisingly been all right.
His best season.
It's all coming the postseason.
His best season.
Cordell Patterson.
Cordero kicker.
So their fourth running back.
Yeah, really love him.
Pretty much.
Hey. He only had 80 yards against us on 10 carries. Stop it. But this is a position group that's going to desperately miss Josh Gordon come Sunday.
Yep. We saw what Josh Gordon provided whenever he was clean or whenever he just wasn't caught yet. Pick your choosing, but it's just at this point it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who Tom Brady has as a wide receiver.
He'll make it work.
He's going to hit him. Yeah.
Yep.
And especially if you have guys that Brady's been working with for a while too, like Chris Hogan, Julian Edelman. Dorsett's in his second year with New England.
This is his second year.
Second year with the Patriots. Yeah, it just Edelman's a really talented guy. So is Chris Hogan. I don't have any doubts that Belichick and LaFleur is going to game plan. Sorry, McDaniels. McDaniels going to tailor game plans to get them open. And in case you guys haven't noticed, it doesn't matter who they're playing. Edelman and Hogan usually find themselves open.
Edelman more so than Hogan.
Oh yeah,
And
Edelman's open on this plank. He got over here, Edelman. Every time.
pretty much.
that's how it is.
Edelman makes plays.
And
He does.
we'll group Gronk into receivers like we did with the Rams. Gronk has been a non-factor.
He is a non-factor.
He's a non-factor
But he's a factor.
until he shows up, and he showed up at the end of that Kansas City game.
Well, here's what I'll also say. He's a non-factor, but he's a factor because he does draw attention.
Right.
He can
Purely
draw
off
double
name.
team. If he's there, it's a double team on him.
And just purely because of his name and his size. Even though this season was his worst season to date. That he's been fully healthy for. Moving on, we have the defensive side of the ball, where the Patriots are a lot stronger than they've been in recent years past. You have their defensive line that's made up
Flowers.
of... Yep, Flowers is their biggest guy.
Trey Flowers is a monster.
He is.
Yeah, he was a first-round pick?
No.
Trey? No.
He was a second or third.
Second-round pick. I know he was a
Day
high
two
draft pick in recently.
In 20 recently.
I remember that year.
Yeah, I mean, it was just recently, right?
He was in 2015 and he was actually a fourth round pick.
Oh, fourth.
I thought he was third
I
or
thought he was a
second.
second-round pick.
Day 3 guy.
I figured he was later.
Yeah.
He is an elephant linebacker, like we talked about on the last podcast.
Mm-hmm. Which, if you didn't having a chance to check it, we started a draft podcast. Or if you did listen to it and you're listening now, welcome back. Anyways, you also have former first-rounder Malcolm Brown on there. And who else am I missing? Who's the third guy there?
On the Pats defensive line?
Yeah,
Dietrich Wise
Dietrich Weiss.
is
Thank
a
you.
stud.
Oh, if they kept Chandler Jones.
Yeah.
They don't want to spend that money.
But still a solid group. Trey Flowers, how many sacks did he have this year, Richie?
Flowers had 7.5. He might have had 8.5.
Okay. Well, solid.
It's not a bad defensive line. It's going to get the job done for what the Patriots do. Their linebacking core is always a solid linebacking core. It's nothing spectacular,
They
but
have Dante Hightower back, don't they?
Yeah.
Or,
but it's never.
Can we talk about Kyle Van Noy
Kyle Van Noy's
instead of Dante Hightower?
a career
Go ahead,
rejuvenation right there. Because he was horrible in Detroit.
Yep.
Sneaky athlete.
He is a sneaky athlete. He's a coach on the field. He's gritty. That's what he is.
He's a gamer.
He is a gamer. He's coach's son. So he's Wes Welker like.
And then with the secondary too, Patrick Chung. I can't remember. What's
Why is he the first one you brought up?
I know, right? Stephon Gilmore's been playing.
The McCourty twins?
McCoy twins and
Stephon Gilmore.
well, no, they have another corner out there.
Stephon Gilmore.
J.C. Jackson or something like that.
Well, it's not Malcolm Butler.
He's their weakest one. But Stephon Gilmore quietly had one of his, if not the best season of his career.
Oh.
He was a
And he was
first team
all-pro.
All-Pro.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say.
I
I wouldn't even see it quietly. He had a phenomenal year, man.
It's just because no one likes to talk about the Patriots. That's why it's quiet. No one likes to. They like to just push them like, yeah, we'll talk about it in the postseason.
No, people love to talk about the Patriots, just not their defense.
Yeah.
That's true.
They like to talk about Tom Brady.
No.
But, I mean, you have, and then coaching, since we talked about the Rams coaching staff, we have Bill Belichick, who is just like McVay, puts his defensive players instead of offensive players in a position to succeed. We're going to go into matchups now. We have Tom Brady going up against that Rams. Let's start with offensive line and defensive line of the Rams. I think we all are going to be in consensus on this. Who's going to be more dominant this game?
I'm going to take the Rams for both.
The Rams offensive line and defensive line?
Yep. I would agree with that.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think the Rams' offensive line has been. I don't even call them underrated just because they've been so phenomenal. But I don't think people are just giving them the credit they deserve, especially with, Todd Gurley doing what he did, and then C.J. Anderson coming in late in the season and producing like he did. Yeah, Anderson's a great runner, but have you seen the running lanes they've been able to run? You drive a truck through those, man.
He goes 8 yards untouched.
Yeah.
The weakest part of the Rams' offensive line is the center. And that's even by that much. I mean, the guards and tackles are playing outstanding. They are just... Goff just sits back there. He has all the time in the world, and he can make these throws. Great offensive line. And then the defensive line, I mean, They can tear you apart any given moment. And then, as we saw last week, the Saints had a triple team Aaron Donald on some plays because he draws so much attention.
Yeah, I mean, Donald's the best player in football. I think we've all agreed on that. Michael Brockers, I think, is underrated. He's a really good football player, and it's easy to get lost on the defensive line like that. And Ndamukong Suh, like Richie said, he can show up. It's just a matter of if and when he does. But just the name itself draws attention, and that's kind of what you need with Brockers and Aaron Donald along on that defensive line.
Just imagine if Suh was drawing double teams just like Aaron Donald was. This would be an unstoppable Rams defense.
Here's the problem. It is stoppable, which is why I'm taking Patriots offensive line.
What about defensive line?
I'll take the Rams offensive line and the Patriots offensive line. I think the Patriots interior is just fantastic. David Andrews should have been a Pro Bowler. We should all know by now how dominant Shaq Mason is at guard.
Yep.
And then Joe Thuney's underrated. But Shaq Mason's one of the best in the league.
Let's not forget, though, that offensive line when they lost to the Broncos was in shambles. Because I can't remember the guy's name. Maybe one of you guys can. Their offensive line coach retired that season.
Couldn't tell you.
They actually pulled him out of retirement. He's coaching for them still now and brought their offensive line back to being basically like Secret Service for Tom Brady again.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was retired and then went to shambles and then came back, and it's fantastic again.
They'll just get in here now, pay you more money. Okay.
Let's talk quarterbacks. Who's gonna have the better game? Goff, Brady.
Brady.
Will he though?
I will say yes. Tom Brady's on a decline. I don't care if he got to the Super Bowl. I don't care if he's going to win the Super Bowl. If you watch him play, if you look at his numbers, he's on a decline.
Yes, 100%,
it's him being on a decline isn't me saying he's a bad quarterback.
Yep.
It's not me knocking him or the Patriots system. Yep. It's just watching him play. He's not what he used to be. Back. And that's okay. It happens to everybody.
It has to happen. There's no physical way he will not ever decline.
Yes. But he's on a decline, and he's not the same Tom Brady that, he once was. And I'm saying he took a deep, deep step because we all watched him march down on the field against the Chiefs, 2 minutes left to go, put the game in overtime. And then overtime. Took the ball off the coin toss, marched down the field, and led him to a touchdown.
But what they're doing is they're mixing in the run to help them.
And that's where the run game kicks in.
That's when Michelle comes in.
Yeah, it helps whenever you have guys like Burkhead, Brickhead, Michelle, White. Just those guys have been phenomenal in helping Tom Brady.
James Devlin at fullback.
Yeah. Devlin's an animal we haven't even talked about, man.
Yep.
He's a sneaky wide receiver.
He's Wes Welker like.
I think Brady's going to end up having the better game.
I agree.
Yeah.
And there's a big if on that. If the Rams can get pressured on, which is hard to do because Tom Brady's getting the ball at lightning speeds in the playoffs right
That's
now.
Joey Bosa.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Stop throwing the ball so fast. Okay, he did not sound like I thought Joey Bosa would sound like.
If Wade
he
Phillips
looks like he sounds like a hick.
If Wade Phillips can create a defense that can get to Tom Brady fast and keep him off his toes, that's going to be the factor in it. It all just depends on what scheme is going to be thrown at him to get Tom Brady uncomfortable. That is the only way that Goff will have a better game than Brady.
Okay. All right. Now let's move into what I think is the strongest position group in this game. Running backs.
Man.
Don't make me choose.
Yeah. Do I have to?
I am making you choose one or the other.
I'm going to shock you and take Michelle and the Patriots.
I'll take the Patriots.
In the Patriots backfield.
Yep.
I'm going to go with the Rams. I think the Rams have a better rushing attack day.
I just think the Patriots have more opportunity to be productive whenever it comes to their running backs. Not saying that they're necessarily a better group, but just how they're used and the play calling and scheming and stuff.
Let's go let's kind of generalize it or kind of divide it, I guess. Do we want to divide it with pass catching ability and running ability or just all around?
Better game.
Yeah.
Better game, so all around.
Like if I look at 2 stat sheets, not telling you names and everything, just total rushing yards, receptions, and receiving yards and touchdowns.
It's going to be the Patriots.
Okay.
Because Burkhead and James White are going to get the ball thrown to them all the time, so they're going to have...
But Gurley isn't?
I gotta take the Rams, man. I think the Rams.
I want to, but from how the Patriots use their running backs, and they have 3 that they're utilizing and getting that much attention, getting that much yardage.
And the Rams have 2.
But Gurley hasn't been there right now in the playoffs.
Gurley had 2 more weeks to get fully
I
ready.
understand that. But if I'm going to my assumption right now, I'm taking the Patriots running back core for the Super Bowl. It's the better one.
Okay.
You're drunk.
I'm being honest.
Wide receiver groups.
Rams by a landslide.
Miles.
Yeah.
Miles
that
and
was
miles.
not even that hard.
Thank you. Next.
All right, Ariana. Let's go with secondaries.
That's the Pats.
Gotta go with the Pats, yeah.
If it wasn't for how big of a liability Marcus Peters is, I would consider the Rams, but I'm going to tell you right now, bold prediction, Marcus Peters gives up 2 massive plays.
Nope.
Either,
I don't even think that's bold.
so when I say massive, I mean 30-plus yard reception or touchdown / both. He's going to get creamed in this game.
By
But it's
Chris
only-
Hogan.
If it's only 2
I was going
plays,
with Brandon Cooks.
if that's only 2 plays, I'm fine with that because we could make up for that.
2
Rams,
plays can make or break a game, though, bro.
they also...
That's the Saints.
Ask the Packers against your Rams. 1 kickoff return. Made the whole game.
Oh, we traded you guys at 2027th for that PLS.
Hey, he's your problem now.
But
Don't want him.
with the safety positions that we have in the corner all together, that secondary, I got to give it to the Rams. They've been playing outstanding in the playoffs outside of 1 or 2 plays in this against the Saints that really were the downfall of them. But otherwise, they've been playing great in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with Skyler.
Marcus Peters is just too much of a liability.
But if you watch the play,
If he didn't have to leave, I'd be Patriots no problem.
yeah, exactly. But with Talib, the defense is whole again, and Peters can do what he does best.
We have Stephon Gilmore, who is an ace
I
by
understand
himself.
that. If you looked at
then
this,
yeah,
So is
Patrick
Pro
Chung,
Football Focus put out the
secondary
stats for how much Peters has improved since Sleepson back. It's been day and night.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah, the
Peters
McCourty
is not number
twins.
one.
Jason has found
not
the
number 2.
fountain of youth in New England.
They're both great. Yeah,
Well,
And
let's not
then
be
you have,
wrong. Jason McCourty in Tennessee was not a bad player.
not at all.
No.
No, he just started to dip off with age, but like I said, he found the fountain of youth in New England.
He's not.
Everyone
playing
finds the
as much.
fountain of youth in New England. Look at Tom Brady, damn it.
Shut the hell up. You guys have Andrew Whitworth. Back off.
True.
Granted, he didn't take a step down from his play when he went to the Rams.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. Well, let's talk about kickers as well, because special teams.
Oh, hold on, wait, one more.
No, we
Linebackers.
don't. No,
Linebackers.
we don't.
Yes, right there.
No,
Patriots.
Patriots.
Patriots. Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Okay.
Dilly dilly.
You're
Had
on.
to at least say it.
Special teams. The Rams. Next question.
I don't know, man. If you had to put a game-winning kick on either Gostkowski or Zerline, who are you taking?
Give me Greg
Gostkowski's
the leg.
more- Gostkowski's
What's the
more
distance?
consistent.
What's the distance?
I've also seen
57 yards.
I've seen Gostkowski shank that shit.
Yeah.
I've
Jimmy
seen
Zerline.
Zerline shank that shit.
I've
Zerline
seen
has
Crosby
been-
shank that shit.
I've seen every kicker except for Tucker shank
Stop
that
it.
shit.
Go ahead and ask him about his only missed extra point in his career.
Do you want me
That
to tell
was-
you something? I actually said before he kicked it, he's going to miss this.
You can go fuck yourself. You know what'll make you feel better? Half the times I say that about Chris Boswell, I'm right.
Wow.
But
What did I do?
60% of the time
What did I
it works.
do?
You were here.
When I talked about Justin
I
Tucker's
didn't
best
say
PAT,
anything.
you were just like, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
you know what's funny? Is he made
Did
the
that
Pro
end up
Bowl
getting you
last
guys in the playoffs?
year. He made the Pro Bowl last year.
He did.
I can't believe it.
He was a phenomenal
great last
kicker
year.
last
I
year.
don't know
Yeah.
what happened.
He beat your Packers.
In what?
Game-winning field goal last year.
Oh, Brett Hundley. That don't matter. Hey, Brett Hundley, 158.3 rating.
But then let's look at the punters. Johnny Hecker versus whoever the Patriots have.
Johnny Hecker.
I think it's Ryan Allen.
Johnny
Something,
Hecker.
Alan.
But yeah, it's Hecker.
Hecker's the best player.
Even Belichick has came
Why
out
do you
and
even need to ask
praised
that?
him. I'm just saying we have to include him in special teams, but Belichick has came out and praised Hecker for how much of a weapon he is for the Rams.
Congrats. That's probably the only player he's scared of.
Here's what I'm going to say about the
Good.
special teams. I have a feeling the Rams are going to try and pull something off like they did against the Saints and any other big game they've done with a fake special teams play. And if New England is ready for it and stops it, it's going to be a long day for the Rams. However, I think if the Rams can convert, because I don't think it's a matter of if, it's when they pull out that fake special teams play. If they convert it, it could be huge momentum.
They practice those plays every day, and they make sure it's the right situation, the right time. They make sure it's like the stars are aligned to make sure they do that.
Well, okay, Skyler, they do the most out of any team in the league by far.
Obviously, but when they do it...
They just have balls. That's all it is.
But they make sure they have the right...
Some Randy Marsh balls.
Yep.
But they make sure the defense is lined up where there's no way of them getting the advantage, and they take advantage of that. The Rams know what they're doing with these special teams fakes.
What's sad is I'll say, oh, this could be a fake, but nobody else sees it coming. And I'm sure you guys say the same thing.
Yep.
But how does an NFL coach not see, hey, we're playing the Rams. We're going to literally play all for the fakes on every single special teams play.
Why not? Why not just sit back there and just be like, whatever, have a guy go back and return, everyone just play like a zone coverage.
No, you don't have to play a zone coverage. Just play a normal special teams play. Don't just run straight down the field.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the most important matchup we're going to see, the coaching. You know, you got Sean McVay versus Bill Belichick, two of the best head coaches in the NFL.
You got to take...
The two best head coaches in the NFL.
Yeah, you got to take...
Besides Mike McCarthy.
What?
Huh?
I gotta ask, are you on crack right now?
That depends. Are the mics live? They are? No, I'm good. I'm high on life, baby.
Give me the hoodie. Proven Super Bowl winner.
Yep. This guy's been there. This is his 11th trip to the Super Bowl.
He knows what he's doing.
He's been there 20% of the time that the Super Bowl has been around.
Granted, he's cheated on 20% of those trips, but...
True.
I mean, the Steelers also cheated on their last two wins, too.
How?
I'm intrigued to hear that.
Let's hear it. How?
First of all, the refs versus the Seahawks.
Oh, my God.
You guys.
Oh, my Christ.
Let's get Jerome Bettis a ring. He'll wind up in the Hall of Fame for his 3 seasons of over 4 yards a carry.
Take that back.
He is not a Hall of Famer.
What?
Congrats, you played 20 seasons and had under 4 yards a carry.
I cannot wait to post this later.
He finished 6th all-time in rushing yards.
20 years!
Okay, so how are you going to sit there and criticize Terrell Davis for not playing long enough and getting into the Hall of Fame, and then you draw back and you hate Jerome Bettis for playing for too long?
I hate Jerome Bettis because he played at an average level for too long.
Average level. He was consistently one of the best running backs in the league.
I would love to look at all the running backs in the league and compare them to Jerome Bettis, because I guarantee you Jerome's at the bottom.
Cool. They didn't use him like every other running back in the league.
Okay, cool. Hook him.
Oh, my God.
All right. How will the Rams win this game?
If they used him right, they would have played him at fullback.
How about who wins this game? How do the Rams win this game?
We have both questions on either side.
Oh, how do the Rams
win this game?
They score more points.
Obviously, Donnie. That's not why we have a podcast. What is your take on how they win this game?
You gotta out-scheme the Patriots.
And that's such a tough thing to do.
You have to get creative, but not cute.
But
being cute is that special teams fake bullshit. Being creative is mixing in different packages on defense, lining up Marcus Peters at nose tackle. That'll get everyone off guard.
The two things the Rams need to happen in this game. One is for their wide receivers to show up against the Patriots secondary. If Jared Goff has the time to throw, I do think Sean McVay will scheme them properly in order for them to get open. I do think big plays will happen. Now, the big thing that needs to happen is they need to get interior pressure on Tom Brady. Like you said, Skyler, Tom Brady gets the ball out like that. 3-second drop back, boom, it's out. Almost every time. The Patriots work on a system timing offense. That means, hey, I'm throwing this ball at this spot. You're going to be there. Congrats. Okay. You have probably one of the most dominant interior linemen in history. Are we going that far yet?
We could easily go that far.
Yeah.
We could easily go there.
You have one of the most dominant nose tackles to ever play football. You need to get push. You need to get pressure in Brady's face. Pressure off of the side, it's fine. Brady can step back into the pocket. He can move around. He can extend plays with his legs. Pressure up front, right in Tom Brady's face. That's how you beat him every single time.
Push the center in his face. Give him something to worry about.
But what's going to happen is that they're going to double team Aaron Donald. Every NFL team does it. It's not a surprise. And Dominic Sue and Michael Brockers need to show up.
It's a great interior D-line, too, so they got to figure it out. I already highlighted it. That's a dominant interior line.
So would you agree? Or we have another way the Rams will win this game?
No, like I said, you got to get creative and out scheme the Patriots.
I was going to say exactly what Donnie said. Not Aaron Donald, because we know what Aaron Donald's going to do. He will get in that backfield, double or triple teamed or not. But Ndamukong Suh and Michael Brockers have to live in that backfield with Aaron Donald.
Yeah,
it can't just be Aaron Donald making plays.
100%.
Your interior pressure is going to be what makes and breaks that game, especially with the Patriots run game.
I actually think if you contain the running backs, you can win this game if you're the Rams. That would be a weird way of winning it, but if you contain the running backs, I think they can win it that way.
Tame them how, though? Both passing and rushing, or just rushing?
Both. It's not easy.
That's a real tall task.
The linebackers have to play smart. The safeties also have to play smart, too.
You're asking a lot out of a weak linebacking core.
They're not terrible in coverage, but they are weaker. But that's a way to win, and they can utilize it. If they take the running backs out of from Tom Brady, he has to throw down the field, and you're going to have Peters making risks. That could make or break for Tom Brady.
Well, you're also asking a lot of that defensive secondary, too.
Exactly.
So what's going to happen is that the Patriots are going to notice that, and then they're going to start drawing up play action and all that sort of stuff. And if
that then goes to Aaron Donald making that pressure. If they do play action, that gives it more time for Aaron Donald to get to Tom Brady.
If you focus on the running backs, you're leaving a lot of help.
You're relying on your secondary more than anything. And then the pass rush, because then if you take the running backs away, you're trying to lure them into play action or a longer drop, which then you want Donald to get to the quarterback more. It's a different way of looking at it, but it's something to think about once we get to that Super Bowl on Sunday, because they may try that option.
Okay. Let's flip it around here. How do the Patriots win this game?
Control the ball.
They show up.
Freaking really though. I think the worst possible scenario for the Patriots is that the Rams try to turn it into a track meet. I just don't think the Patriots can keep up with the Rams as McVay decides to want to try to put up 40, 50 points in a game.
McVay can make mismatches on offense. He can set that up where the Patriots linebackers and weaker of the secondary of the corners, obviously not Stephon Gilmore, make their head spin from what these wide receivers are going to be all over the field. And that can be to their advantage. And they're going to make it, like Donnie said, a track meet. And you'll wear them out.
But here's the thing. Belichick and the Patriots, as long as he's been there, they don't abandon their game plan. They don't tailor their style to kind of match what's going on in the flow of the game. They're going to do what works best for them, and what works best for them is running the football and buying time for Brady to open up and play action and hitting his slot receivers.
They do change their game plan. Did you see that story came out the other week where Tom Brady said they came in it was the day before the game, and he's like, and Belichick came in and was like, no, forget it. We're doing a whole new thing.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
Okay.
And it's just more so like as the game goes on, if something doesn't go their way, they're not going to just throw it away like that. But Belichick never wastes time. There was a game against the Jets where he ran the ball 3 or 4 times in the first quarter, didn't have any success with it, just threw the rest of the game. If it's not going to work, Belichick's not going to go for it.
No, he's not going to force it. He's going to go with what's working.
Yeah, and his ability to flex guys out and make them so effective in different positions is what makes him so successful. And the two guys that stand out, both on defense, we talked about both of them, Trey Flowers, Kyle Van Noy. The ability to flex them all over the field is what makes that defense tick. And that's going to be what's going to keep the Patriots in this game. And, of course, like we touched about clock management, keep the Rams off the field. Keep your defense fresh.
Yeah, so if that defense is tired for the Patriots, the Rams are going to run all over the field with them.
And vice versa. If you can keep that Rams defense tired, it's a great front. The back end is weak, and Brady will pick them apart. I was about to
say, as great as the front 4 is for the Rams, or even like the front 7, they will wear out. Yeah. They could be great, but if you're dog-ass tired in the middle of the fourth quarter, I'll be more than happy letting Sony Michel.
I don't know if Aaron Donald gets tired, though.
No, I'm saying. Oh no, he does. He's phenomenal. But just as a unit, as a whole front seven,
they'll get tired.
Yeah, I think the way the Patriots can win this game is if Sean McVay decides not to go. No, just playing. I think
he'll just hang out with his smoking hot wife.
She is smoking hot.
Yeah, he's smoking hot.
Imagine if he wins the Super Bowl. What happens after?
He's probably going to Disneyland. That's what happens.
But
he's like a Disneyland baby.
I think you need to. If you're the Patriots and you want to win this game, you have to fully utilize Michelle and James White. I think those two players have to be getting the ball 30 to 40% of your snaps.
Or more.
Oh, I'm saying at the bare minimum.
Yeah, bare minimum. What's your predictions for the games? What do you think the final score is going to be? And then give me your MVP.
I'll go ahead and start us off. I'm going to go ahead and take the Patriots to win this game 38-35.
Close game. I think it's going to be close, too.
Your MVP is going to be Tom Brady, of course. However, I think in a similar fashion to Super Bowl 49, Brady's going to take the truck and he's going to give it to Kyle Van Noy, who's going to have double-digit tackles.
Okay.
Van Noy's going to fly around this football field.
I've got the Patriots winning 31-21. And I think that Brady's not even going to get the Super Bowl MVP. I think Sonny Michel's going to receive it. He's going to go for $150 and 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
I've watched the New England Patriots movie for probably 18 consecutive years.
Damn rerun keeps it on TV.
Most times, not the outcome I think is going to happens. Where no matter what happens, no matter situation, no matter, let's throw out a random scenario, whether they're down 28-3 in the third quarter, they just always find a way to get it done. And, I doubted them going into Kansas City.
Doubted them going into Los Angeles Chargers.
I did not do that to them.
Oh, I did. I thought the Chargers were going to win that game.
Yep.
I've learned to not bet against the New England Patriots. And, if I'm wrong, then I'm happy. Because, seeing the Patriots lose is the damn good thing to wake up to.
Yeah,
I do think the Patriots will win 23-21. And I think Tom Brady's your MVP.
All right, Skylar, how much
My heart hurts.
I don't want that to happen.
How much you got the Rams winning by, Skylar?
It's not. It's a high-score game. It's not. I have the final score being 28-24. It's going to be close. This is going to be like a battle of the greats because you got Wade Phillips on defense. You got Belichick running this team. It's going to be a great game to watch. And if we get to the MVP, I think it's going to be Brandon Cooks. I'm going to take a shot in the dark. It's going to be Brandon Cooks. I think playing against his former team, he's going to be utilized a lot, and Sean McVay's going to want him to because Sean McVay loves to do that kind of stuff where, hey, I know you're with this team. Let's expose them. Let's utilize you more. As stupid as it could be, but it could pay off. And he could pull off for 150 yards and a tutty.
Okay.
It'll be just enough for the MVP.
I hope the Rams win.
No, you don't.
No, I do. Why would I want to root for the Patriots?
No one does. Tyler is coming over and he said, I want the Rams to win. Like, no one.
I don't want to listen to Skylar for a whole year.
Listen, Thank you.
That's the only reason why.
That is
any other team, I'm against the Patriots.
And I don't like Jared Goff, but that's just me.
That's sacrifice I'm willing to make.
I'm going to wait one more year.
C.J. Anderson's story?
No. He has a ring.
So, Donnie, you said that you had some funny prop bets.
I do, yes.
Let's hear them.
So prop bets are one of my favorite things. For those who don't know what a prop bet is, there's the normal betting you do on a game where you just bet like point spread and all that good stuff, and then you have what are prop bets. Prop bets are going to be just random, really anything outside of the actual game. Are you okay?
I'm good. I just smacked the table with my knee. In case anyone heard that.
Prop bets are going to be basically anything that happens outside of the football field. They're really popular with the Super Bowl. They're popular in Vegas as well. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to just go over a couple with you guys.
And let's see it.
The most popular one obviously is going to be the coin toss, whether it lands on heads or tails. What would you guys take?
Tails.
I'm a heads guy.
Heads.
Yeah, you are. But tails never fails.
I'm the same with Richie.
The next one's going to be, what will the length of the national anthem be? The over-under is set at 1 minute and 50 seconds.
I'll take the over.
Who's singing it?
Gladys Knight? Gladys Knight? I don't know.
I'll take the under.
Gladys.
What was the time?
Oh, is it?
What was the over-under?
Minute 50.
It's going over.
Okay. What will Gladys Knight wear? The choices are between a dress or a skirt or pants and shorts.
Dress.
Dress and skirt.
All right. Will Bill Belichick or Sean McVay be the first to be shown on TV during the national anthem?
It's going to be Bill Belichick.
It's going to be Sean McVay.
It's going to be McVay.
It's going to be McVay.
Okay. So we have all of those. Will anybody kneel during the national anthem?
No.
Yes is plus 150. No is minus 120. Will say their name is Gladys?
Gladys.
Will Gladys Knight omit a word from the national anthem? Yes is plus 400. No is minus 700.
No, I don't think she will.
There's even bets to whether or not the microphone will be on the stand or whether or not they're going to hold it in their hand. So the halftime ones, will Adam Levine wear a leather jacket? Will any performer fall down on the stage? Will Adam Levine kneel during the show? That'd
be pretty fucking stupid.
What color liquid will be poured on the winning coach?
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yellow.
Really?
I'll take green.
Light blue.
Interesting. Will there be a flea flicker in the game?
No.
Who will MVP mention first in the post-game speech? So there's any options for like family to like a supportive coach or anything like that. And then
that depends. Is it Tom Brady? He's not going to thank God.
If it's Brandon Cooks, it is God. 100% God.
Anyone but Tom Brady will be thanking God.
Okay. So will the broadcast mention the Belichick-McVay age gap?
Yes.
Yep. Will CBS show the Saints Rams pass interference play?
Yes.
And then will they show Giselle on the live broadcast?
Yes.
Here's another one that was in Vegas.
Hope.
So James Harden points on February 2nd versus longest touchdown Super Bowl 53. That's actually a bet in Vegas.
What is it?
James Harden points on February 2nd versus the longest touchdown of Super Bowl 53. So, like, how many points he scored.
Crazy.
Ooh, I would take Harden on that one. Harden could drop 50.
And then there was one more that I saw. Oh, two more, sorry. Will a non-quarterback throw for a touchdown?
No.
And then another one. How many plays will Tony Romo call correctly?
How many plays are there? 100?
Over-under. What's the over-under?
I didn't say.
40.
That was just one of the bets. They didn't tell me the over.
Yeah.
I'll take the over.
Really?
I would like to see if there's a prop bet. Will SpongeBob make an appearance on the halftime show?
Ooh,
There's a thing for Squidward. There's a thing for Squidward going right now.
Squidward!
I think they're going to play the...
It is hyping up that they're going to play Sweet Victory.
They better. Dude, if they do that...
I would cry tears.
I will put my pants back on.
No, I'll take them off.
Oh, hey.
I saw a thing, though. It was like everyone in the room over 30 is going to have no idea what's going on.
Yes.
While everyone else is crying and screaming sweet, sweet victory.
And everybody's like, yes! We made it!
Pretending to be Mrs. Puff sliding in on a guitar. Patrick. Doo, 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 doo.
Now, I could have sworn when they did the in their thing, they did the... like that basically was Patrick playing the drums because you could see like the silhouetted head and everything. Mm-hmm. I could have swore that was him, but I don't know. I'd have to go back and look.
Okay, so one last thing.
I know. Let's talk about the most important thing on Sunday for all but the 75,000 people that are fortunate enough to go to the game.
Breakfast.
What makes the perfect Super Bowl party?
Donnie, you're up first.
Donnie does make the Super Bowl party perfect.
Buffalo chicken dip.
Hey,
that's a newer thing, though. That is newer.
That is a newer thing. It wasn't really popular way back in the day, but
get with the program, people.
Haley makes a tremendous buffalo chicken dip out of the crock pot. So we're looking to add that. I'm definitely going to try to get some pizza and wings for our place as well. I'm just live it up Sunday, man. I'm buy as much food as I can, and I'm trying to eat all of it.
I'm going to play off of yours with the dip, and I'm going to tell you a good queso dip with some diced up jalapenos.
Ooh.
Chili, excuse me.
I make a good queso dip, too.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Chili with or without jalapenos?
With.
Oh, okay.
No chili. Jalapenos. Final answer. Chili and jalapenos. Dude, it's not as hot as you would think.
I'm a
gives
baby,
it a
man.
good little...
I'm a baby.
We know you are.
Wow. Bitch, a little baby.
You and your apple juice and a beer bottle.
I think what makes a perfect party though is going to be the group that is there.
Yep.
I think it's if you get a bunch of people who know each other and have a great time, it's going to be a kick-ass party. But if you get like 4 or 5 different groups that do not know each other and there's not that couple of people in each group that can socialize everybody.
Or you get that one dumbass. Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you don't invite guys named Brandon to your Super Bowl party, especially if they spell it in a dumbass way. I'm Richie Bradshaw saying this. At me.
What makes your perfect party?
The TV. You can't have a small TV. You gotta have a big TV.
I went to your Super Bowl party 2 years ago when you were still living in an apartment.
That was bad.
You had a small TV.
But then we went the year before, and we had pizza wings, and we had a big-ass TV, and we had multiple rooms, which we're going to be doing this year, so. But yeah, TV size definitely makes. If you're going to invite people, make sure you have a big enough TV, otherwise it's going to be really awkward standing around there huddled around a TV.
Oh, wait.
All right, guys, that is going to be it for our Super Bowl.
It was the chair.
Sure it was. That's what you're going to be doing all Sunday anyway, so don't lie.
I'm going to be at work.
Hey, you can yeah, whatever you're into, that's cool.
I'm going to be working at hand washer.
We just hate your opinions.
But I think it'd be, let's hear what you guys have to say for what's going to be the final score and who's going to win this game. Comment down below in the comments section on Twitter. Let us know. Let us know you're here. Let's get some fan engagement going. So with that, I'm signing off.
Where can they find us though, Richie?
Oh, there we go.
At the PTP Podcast. That's Twitter and Instagram. We have a Facebook page, the Pile On to Pile On Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes, Spreaker, SoundCloud, all that good shit. New episodes out every Wednesday. Our college episode will be replaced during the offseason with an NFL draft episode. And then we have the NFL edition, which will come out every single Wednesday. 2 episodes, guys. Lots of football. Make sure you subscribe.
And please go write a review about us. We want
5 stars.
5 stars only. 4 stars, keep it. We don't want it.
Yeah.
3 stars, definitely don't want it.
2 stars, you're probably right. Still don't want it.
1 star,
give it up to us.
no stars. All right. Fair enough. It's probably Donnie.
On my burner account is
1 star, the number of Super Bowls the Rams have.
Ooh.
All right then. Rude.
Too bad Donnie can't get a 6 star.
Why?
Tom Brady.
You guys have 6 rings.
Tom Brady.
Wow, piss off, dude.
I forgot.
Tom Brady's going to have sex here pretty soon.
He's going to have sex, right?
He's going to have sex and sex. He's going to have 6 sex.
He does have success, you're right.
Shove it, Bruce Willis.
He'll do it with each ring. He has
6 sex.
After he gets the ring, he'll do it with each ring.
Ooh. That would hurt.
Will it?
Yeah.
Will it?
That would hurt.
You know what hurts? They're making a new Fast and Furious movie.
Oh, yeah. No. They're going to keep on going, dude. Anyways, with that, I'm Austin Fazzucco signing off with my hosts, Richie Bradshaw, Donnie Druin, and Skylar Burkhart. Oh, you had to ruin it. All right. Catch you all later.
Hey, guys.